Welcome student in another session of 12th Biology chapter 5 part 6. In this video we will learn about mutation, its type and pedigree analysis. Let us begin with mutation. What is mutation? It is sudden change occurring in the DNA sequence that results in change of the genotype and phenotype of an organism. Mutation and recombination, they brings variation in the DNA that is essential for evolution. So these two events are playing important role in evolution. The type of mutation that we will learn is point mutation and frame shift mutation. As the word indicates, point mutation, there is mutation that takes place in a single base pair. Let's see with an example. This is the DNA sequence and this has to be read out, right? But instead at the place of T, there is change in C with C. So this is point mutation. There are different types of mutations, like in the point mutation also. The mutation may be called silent mutation, nonsense mutation, or missense mutation. Let us learn one by one all each. In no mutation, you can see the DNA will give rise to L. This DNA sequence is responsible for lysine amino acid, right? In silent mutation, instead of C, T is placed. That will lead to the same kind of, that is responsible for same kind of amino acid. So though there is a mutation, but there is no such change takes place in an individual's organism, individual's body. That's why it is known as silent mutation. The second one is nonsense mutation. Here you can see the DNA is responsible for stop. So there won't be any protein synthesis takes place. That's why this kind of mutation is known as nonsense mutation. Third one is missense. Instead of lysine amino acid, the gene is responsible for any other type of amino acid that may lead to change in protein synthesis. So this such kind of mutation is known as missense mutation. The example of point mutation is sickle cell anemia. Next one is the frame shift mutation. Frame shift mutation is the deletion or insertion of a base pair resulting in the shifting of DNA sequence. Here with this example, let us learn this. In a normal condition, the word is beast. What if something is substituted? In place of B, they are substituting F. So the word becomes feast. Now, instead of the substitution, what if something is inserted in the word? Then it may lead to a new word, that is breast. If any of the letter is deleted, then it may lead to a new word, that is best. And lastly, what if inversion takes place? That will lead to formation of new words. So through this diagram, you can see that substitution, insertion, deletion has led to formation of new words. Same thing happens with our DNA sequence. If there is deletion or insertion of base pairs, even a single base pair, that will lead to shift of entire DNA sequences. Deletion, that is loss, or insertion, that is gain or duplication of DNA segment, causes chromosomal abnormalities, that is aberrations. Chromosomal aberrations are seen in cancer cells. So this is what about the frame shift mutation. Who is responsible for such kind of mutation? Those are the agents, and those agents are mutagens that induces mutation. There are two types of mutagen: physical mutagen and chemical mutagen. Physical mutagen are UV radiation, alpha, beta, gamma rays, and X-rays, etc. Whereas chemical mutagen are mustard gas, phenol, formalin, acetic acid, formic acid, ammonia, etc. These are the agents that bring change in the DNA sequence. So that's why these are known as mutagens. Now we are moving ahead with pedigree analysis. In human, control crosses are not possible. So what do you mean that what is the meaning of control crosses? It means that the gene which we wanted to go ahead in the gametes, it's not in our hand. That is control crosses are not possible. So the study of family history about inheritance is used. So family history has been used in case of disease or any kind of disorders that are linked with the chromosomes. Such analysis of genetic traits in several generations of family is known as pedigree analysis. Here the example is given. This is the first generation, shows the second generation, and this shows the third generation. And this entire pedigree analysis gives us the idea about the genetic traits that are passing from one generation to the next generation. The representation of chart showing family history is called family tree, that is pedigree. In human genetics, pedigree study is utilized to trace the inheritance of specific trait, abnormality, or diseases. What are the symbols that are used in pedigree analysis? The symbols that are used in pedigree analysis are given: male, the square; female is a circle; sex unspecified, diamond shape; affected individual, same shape but red in color; mating is just a single line between males and female. If the mating is between the relatives, then instead of a single line, you can see a double line connecting two lines. Parents above, and these are the parents, and these shows the children. Parents with affected child, red color always indicates, or the darker shade always indicates the affected individual. 5 unaffected offsprings. So total they have written 5 unaffected offspring. So these are the symbols that are being used in pedigree analysis. Now let us learn more about the pedigree analysis. Pedigree analysis helps us to understand whether a trait is dominant or recessive. How we will come to know whether the trait is dominant and recessive? The pedigree analysis of autosomal, here it is given, the pedigree analysis of autosomal dominant trait, and this is the pedigree analysis of autosomal recessive trait. In recessive, let's first discuss this. In recessive, in each and every generation, you won't find, right? You won't find an affected. For example, here, in this, both the parent doesn't have any, they are not in red in color. But in the second generation, there are the individual, one male and one female child that is affected. How can it be possible? It is only possible if the parents are carrier. That means the gene is recessive, the gene is hidden in it, right? So this is how we can identify the recessive and the dominant. Whereas on the other hand, dominant, you can able to observe in every generation. You can see in every generation here, as both are not affected, so there won't be any as such infected person, individual. But in every generation, in this generation, female is there. In next generation, male is there, right? There is mating between a healthy person and infected person, that has also lead to infected. So how to identify dominant and recessive? In dominant, you will find in every next generation. right? Every level, each and every level, you will find an infected person. Whereas in recessive, one or the other, you'll find that it's not affected, but that individual, that couple is able to produce the infected. Here is a simple example. They have produced one infected male. Then here, both the couple, both the parent are non-infected. They are not red in color, but they show one red individual. So that means here recessive are the carriers. Carrier are the one that carries in recessive gene but are not affected. There are total 4 types of disorders that we will learn. One is sex-linked recessive disorder. Sex-linked, X is the sex-linked recessive pedigrees, right? So we will learn 2 types, sex-linked diseases and autosomal disorders. How to identify whether the disease is sex-linked. Whether the disease is sex-linked and that too recessive. Recessive is simple that I have explained you. If the diseases skip any of the generation, here also you can see, in first generation it is there, in second it is not there, then in third you are able to see. So if one generation is skipped, then that is recessive disease. Now how to identify whether it is a sex-linked or autosomal? Trait sex-linked, you will find it out that it is transmitted from, always it is like if if father is infected, father is going to donate the damaged chromosome to the daughter and daughter to the son. That means here from male to female, from female to male. So sex-linked diseases are from one sex to another. This is how we can identify, right? Let us read more about X-linked, that is sex-linked recessive pedigrees. Trait is rare in pedigree. As I told you that rare, you won't be able to see in each and every generation. Traits skip the generations. Affected father do not pass to their sons. As I told you, father will pass to the daughter. Males are often affected than females. Females are carrier. Remember always in sex-linked recessive gene, females are carrier because they have 2 X chromosomes. If this one is mutant, this one is the correct one. So females are always carrier. On the other hand, males carry only 1 X chromosome. So if the damaged chromosomes, the chromosome that carries this disorder comes and fuses with the ovum, then that will lead to affected, right? So male are more often affected than the females. Now let us read about the sex-linked dominant pedigrees. Trait is common in pedigree, that is but obvious, right? It's very simple to identify recessive and dominant. Dominant in every generation you will find. In each and every generation, yes, the affected person is there. Affected father passes all to their daughters. Here you can see very well explained. If father is here affected, right? So father is passing his generation to the daughters. All the daughters are affected because it is dominant one, right? So affected fathers pass to all the daughters. Males and females are equally likely to be affected. It is not like in the recessive it was males are more often, but no, in dominant, males and females, they are equally affected. Next are the autosomal dominant and autosomal recessive traits. How to identify the dominant and the recessive? As I told you, dominant in every generation you will find. Yes, it is there. Here also in every generation, affected individual you will always find, right? Trait is common because it's dominant. Trait is found in every generation. Affected individual transmit the traits about half of their children, regardless of sex. In sex, we have learned that father will transfer, that is male. Let's write male. Father will transfer to its daughter female. Then female will transfer again to male, that is son. Right? Father is transferring to his daughter, and daughter is transferring that to her son. So the zigzag, here it forms the ladder zigzag from male to female, female to male in X-linked, right? But in autosomal it is not so. Regardless of sex, the half of their children are affected. Next one is, that is the last one, autosomal recessive trait. Recessive, as we can see, there is no such evidence. Yes, infected is present, right? Only if we talk about this, it's present. But if I consider this, then in first generation it is not present, but in next generation, yes, it is present. Let us see how it is autosomal and how to differentiate autosomal and sex-linked. Trait is rare in pedigree. Trait often skips the generation. Trait affect males and females equally. Right? This point we have to keep in mind. In sex-linked, there is a difference. Male will transfer to female, right? Or female is transferring to male. But here, traits affect equally. Possible diseases are cystic fibrosis, sickle cell anemia, phenylketonuria. So this was about the autosomal, sex-linked, recessive, dominant pedigree analysis. So we have learned in this video about the mutation, types of mutation, and how to identify disorders through pedigree chart. How to differentiate in sex link, the transformation is from male to female, female to male, right? And in autosomal, it is equally. Here it's written regardless of sex in autosomal. How to differentiate dominant? In every generation you will find dominant because the gene is dominant. Whereas in recessive, often skips the generations, and majority, the recessive are the carriers that carries the gene but is not expressive.